Hey Thomas, this is Brantley from Atlet, and I wanted to give you a quick overview of some video your dad sent me over. Um, Big thing that I wanted you to know as far as velocity contribution is something that's happening with your mechanics at a handbrake. So when we're trying to allow the arm to get involved late in our motion, and by letting it be involved late, we're allowing it to move faster. And so by allowing it to move faster, we're creating a whip effect on that arm. You've seen many pitchers, that kind of gross layback that pitchers have with their throwing arm, and that is what in turn lets us throw hard. So one of the things that's happening to you, and I've got you synced up with Wade Davis as an example on the left, a guy that throws easy mid to upper 90s, has been in the league for a while, as an example for you to reference, is a timing thing that's off with your handbrake. So when you're going through your delivery here, I want you to see how early the glove arm is going to get out in relation to the front leg. So right here, you see you've already spread out towards the plate. And then you'll see your front leg as well back here dragging behind your front glove. And I want you to notice over here with Wade that everything is synced up on time, where the glove arm and the front leg are spreading out at the same rate towards the plate. And this is important because what this is showing me is that you have broken your hands earlier, gotten your throwing arm involved earlier, and therefore have told your body to start throwing earlier. So you'll notice that you see this front foot being open here as opposed to closed over here on the left. Basically, once you break your hands and you put your arm into motion, your body's going to start to open up and get ready to throw. And so this is happening prematurely for you because you're not delaying your handbrake and making your handbrake happen low enough on your body to allow yourself time to get down the mound. So we're going to see this translate to when you're going into landing. I want you to kind of see yourself right here. So you haven't landed yet, but you see how the throwing arm is already, the hand has already taken over the shoulder on your throwing arm. We actually want your arm to be down here and not having cocked or gotten into the cocked position yet. So this is the throwing early effect that I'm talking about. The arm needs to be involved late, but also the hand doesn't take over the elbow until late. Think of a pendulum that's swinging back, and we want the hand to sort of take over with that momentum and then go into external rotation at landing. What you've done here with that handbrake is thrown off that timing. You see it right here where the hand is taken over too early. So your body is literally ready to throw but hasn't landed yet. So it's going to start to drift into your head a little bit. And then as you get to actual landing, you're going to see that you're semi-rotated open as opposed to, so you see how your chest is already kind of open towards the plate. You've begun your rotation before you've hit the ground. And so as you start to rotate, you're going to sacrifice the big part of velocity contribution. So 20% of your overall velocity comes from your ability to move down the mound, how fast you can move and efficiently you can move down the mound. 80% of your velocity comes from your rotational speed. They're related to each other because one has to sync up timing into the other. So right here, because you've landed sort of semi-open, your hips don't have as much distance to create or as much tension, elastic energy to release at landing. So this is going to show up on your front leg. You're going to notice that Wade on the left here is going to have his front leg extend against him because his hips got their full range of motion in and their trunk speed was very high. So we call this front leg bracing. You'll see here how this leg is straight going into ball release, right? You, on the other hand, because you were semi-rotated, you're not going to have the ability to have your front hip go behind you and therefore your front leg to extend. So you're going to kind of sink into the ground as you're throwing. So you see right here how this front leg is still bent. And so it's basically a big domino effect. Because you break your hands early and you spread your glove arm out earlier than your front leg, you start to open early, and because you're opened early at landing, you can't get as much distance of rotation with your hips, so you can't rotate as fast. So that's where the big sacrifice in velocity is coming from. So what we would do here is we would teach you how to break your hands later, get the arm involved much later, and then you'll notice that this front leg will start to extend as you're rotating, meaning our trunk speed is higher, and so our velocity will be higher. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell for you, man. I mean, it really comes down to handbrake, timing of handbrake, and then it'll kind of have a domino effect from there. So I hope this helps, man. Good luck in your training.